show recording is on dual channel.
It says we're live, so I think we're live. Just like to take a second here. There we go. Take a breath. All right, guys, what's up? This is Eric Clark with the Where to Hunt podcast. You are watching live if you are watching. And I don't even know what episode this is, 108 or something. So thanks for coming back. If you're at deer camp, settle in, crack a bush light or whatever you're into, scotch, bourbon, you name it, throw it back and enjoy. Before we get rolling today with this show, I think you guys know the drill. I'm going to go ahead and call out our sponsors. So if you want to check out backwoodsgrind.com, this is the coffee that your grandpa used to drink. It's got some real grit, some real caffeine. It is good stuff. You can brew this in your house to make the whole freaking house up. I always recommend go ahead and try out a sampler pack. If you do the 3-pack, it's $7.99. You get the 10% discount by entering in code W2H podcast. And there's a lot of good blends. The Sunrise is good. High Noon is good. Camp House, that's one that I like a lot. And the Fireside has got a real great flavor to it. So anyways, these guys are out of Mississippi. This is more than coffee, right? It's a way of life, it says. And in fact, if you don't know, can you smell that, Devin? Does it smell like coffee in here now?
It does smell like coffee.
Isn't that freaking weird?
It's
right?
crazy.
It's witness, right? And we'll introduce our guest in a second. So he's just hanging out for a moment. We'll switch boots here. Look at this. Look at these boots, handmade from scratch. This is 80% natural rubber, or 85%. I think it's 85%. Handmade boots. They're imported from Italy, and these are, I would say, they're more comfortable than my Crocs, actually. And I live in my Crocs. For those of you that don't know, my dream in life is to have a decanter of scotch and drink scotch when I work, and wear Crocs and a camo hat. That is like my goal in life. My goal might be to wear my gum leaves all the time. And I actually wore them when I was raking leaves yesterday and stuff, and kept my feet nice and dry because it started to rain and the leaves are super wet because I haven't done it yet. But if you want to save money on the shipping, you can enter in code Where to Hunt 2019. If I'm wrong on the code, I will correct myself on the podcast version just because I'm in the moment here. So anyways, Gumleaf USA, gumleafusa.com. Take a look. And now, our guest of the evening, Field to Freezer. So I'll bookmark this right here real quick and switch over. Devon is with Field to Freezer. How you doing, that man?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm glad you're here in the studio. There were going to be
here.
a couple more of you, but they sent you, so I'm in luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Ran into a couple issues tonight, and so glad to sit in and talk for them. So
Heck yeah, man. And so you're a hunter.
I am.
And you're local.
Yes, I'm in East Troy, so Walworth County area.
Not to be confused with Loca. Maybe. I don't know you that well yet.
Hopefully not.
Okay, so you're a hunter. Do you hunt public, private, both?
So bow season, in the early part of the bow season, was a lot of public land.
Okay.
Trying to kind of figure that out. And first time bow hunter, bought a bow late in the summer. So it was a lot of like shoot really quick, get ready for the opener. Not a whole lot of scouting. Just kind of run out there and be like, this looks like a good spot, sit in a tree.
Yeah, that's how you learn, right?
And didn't get any success doing that at all, but it was a good time. Learned a lot.
Okay.
And then later in the year, I got some permissions to hunt some private in kind of Genesee Depot area, so Waukesha County.
Nice. You got permission. How'd you do that?
One of my neighbors and good friend of mine kind of put the word out for me. He was like, hey, he's a good guy. He'd be happy to help out around here with, stuff with, they just had that tornado come through.
Yeah.
So
okay.
kind of cleaning up the property, doing all that.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, man, absolutely, bring him out. So
that's awesome.
Got permissions to do that. Saw a bunch of really good deer out there. They've got some really, really nice bucks running around, but
okay.
they are all smarter than me. So no luck
me
there.
too, man. It's it's a freaking grind. And as we've heard, the numbers are down this year, right? So
27%, right?
Yep. So maybe you don't have to take too much blame in that one.
Yeah, that's all. All on them.
It's the season. I'm a great hunter.
Gun season's always private.
Yeah.
First weekend we do Waupaca County.
Okay.
Big. That's the real serious weekend.
Yep.
We really try to get after it, and in years past, I've had great success.
And
with
you
that.
do any drives and stuff like that too, or?
Very unofficially, usually Sunday afternoonish.
Okay.
Like, all right, let's do a little bit of pushing around as people progressively get out of stands. And
sure.
Just kind of plan it that way. Cheat
Okay.
and have the group text going the whole time.
Oh
obviously.
yeah. Hey, something's coming your way this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Using that word to hunt at maybe.
Second weekend. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect use. Second weekend we go up to Vilas County. We've got some private land that my wife's grandparents and Matt's
Okay.
grandparents actually bought years and years ago. And it's great up there, but we kill a whole lot more bottles than we do deer, unfortunately.
That's how it should be sometimes, man. This isn't it. I'm just trying to tag you guys in something as you're talking, but Facebook has a hard time tagging things.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that later.
But
Anyway.
that's our big, like,
Where's Vilas County? Ish?
north of Minocqua. So if you're familiar with Minocqua at all.
Okay.
Or Presque Isle, Boulder Junction, very north. You go any more north and you're in the UP. We're about 20 minutes from the UP.
Oh, that's not far. Okay. So I used to hunt up there, Phelps Crivis area. And
Okay,
then my
yep.
wife's family, they're all from the UP in
Sure.
Menominee, Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
So we're up in that, like, kind of that, northeastern part of Wisconsin, right on that border of Marinette, Menominee.
It feels like true hunting when you're up there. You get those big snowfalls on all the tall pines. And you're like, God, we're just in the
North
woods.
Woods. That's the big woods, and that's
Yeah.
where you can get really lost. We talked about getting lost on small parcels, and before we went live here,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
where if you get lost, you might have some real problems.
Yeah, there's always some kind of GPS going on up there because it's very easy to get turned around.
And like you want to bring a map and a compass.
Oh, yeah.
Because that shit can fail. Your battery might die in the cold, and
Yeah.
then you're like, okay. After there was a time I remember actually using compasses and maps
Sure.
and learning land navigation for real.
Before
And-
my time, definitely in the woods.
Oh
but-
my gosh, that was the stuff right there, man. Well, okay, let's switch gears a little bit. So you're with Field to Freezer.
Yes.
Maybe tell us about your role there a little bit, but you guys are very new, so we'll start there and we'll kind of elaborate as we go.
Yeah, so very, very new as a company. Kind of doing some general social media marketing, kind of business development type stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like this, getting out, talking to people, letting them know what it is, spreading the word as much as I can. But in terms of new, yeah, our website launched on Thursday evening, I
What
believe.
was that? Yeah, like the day
So-
before the opener, huh?
Yeah, really, burning the midnight oil on that one.
And that garnered some interest from a couple of news folks.
Yeah. So we had JS Online did or actually the Journal Sentinel in general
Okay.
did an article on us, which was really good. Biz Times did an article on us. Fox 6 reached out
Mm-hmm.
on Friday afternoon and reached out to Matt. They're like, hey, Matt being our founder.
Yep.
He was like, hey, you want to do an interview? He's like, yeah, that sounds great. And they're like, cool. Be in here at 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, well, that's
So-
I should be in the woods, but
yeah,
okay.
so he did it.
Already
He
sacrificing.
missed opening morning and went and sat and talked with them, and that seemed to have gone well. And we actually had WTMJ4 reach out, and they did an interview today, so that should be airing this evening.
This evening. Wow. Hey, folks, don't watch this. Go watch WTMJ. They're
Come
going to
on.
do a much better job. We're just drinking scotch, or by the end, we're probably going to be drunk.
Right.
So, okay. And so let's talk about, so you got this launch on the 22nd, like
Yep.
right beforehand. I suspect then you guys have been very busy for quite some time building this thing and preparing for that launch.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does that look like?
So, I mean, it was all kind of born from this idea, right? So, Matt's sitting in line at a game processor one year after a more successful hunt than this one.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, this is a long wait. This is really inefficient. We should do something here. Decides that he wants to put an app together for the whole ordering process. And that was probably 3 years ago. It became an idea. And then right around this time every year, the same conversation would come up. Like, we should do something else here. We should do something else here. And then finally this year, he's like, let's do this thing. So we came out with a quick landing page, kind of, take a look at us if you're interested in us. We'll have some more information later. And then really, it's probably been like the last 2 months where it's been really like, let's get this website put together. Let's go crazy with this thing and do it right. And yeah, I mean, obviously launched the website, and right now with the website, it's not the whole ordering process that we want it to be.
You got to start somewhere, man. And you guys have such a strong start.
Yeah.
So the idea being, okay, I'm in line at a processor. There's got to be a better way.
Yep.
I relate that to Netflix of, I got a late fee. There's got to be a better way. Never again.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is a bigger market, but hey,
We can hope, right?
you're at a great starting point. So what, there's probably a vision behind this too, but what is the overall kind of vision look like for the hunters, the people listening into this episode?
So basically the concept is typically, a lot of people are traveling for hunting as it is. So you've got the long drive up there, long weekend sitting in the woods freezing, hopefully successful. Now you are successful. It's like, okay, I've got a deer. I need to do something with this deer. And a lot of times it gets to be I don't want to call it stressful because it is exciting, but there's definitely some stress added when you're trying to figure out what am I going to do with this thing? Am I going to turn it into steak, sausage,
Yep.
So you've got a processor that you maybe used for a while, or even worst case scenario, you don't have a processor
Okay.
and you're hunting a new area and you need to get this thing sent somewhere. You'll now be able to go through, once the app is fully developed, do a search of processors near you, as simple as just near me, on my way home, or you can get really finite with it. So if you're
Okay.
like, man, I really want some good hot Italians, you'll be able to search like, processors near me with good hot Italians, maybe not the proper
my
verbiage for
God.
it all. So
So
you'll be able to,
That's something because, okay, so my experience so far,
Mhm.
and I won't say their name because whether it's a good experience or bad, it's whatever, it's indifferent, but drop off the deer. And suddenly it was like, hey, we're at capacity. There's only room for 8 more.
right.
Shit, hurry up, get in line.
Yep.
Get in line, right?
Yeah,
Talk about
exactly.
this. So I'm like, am I going to make the cut? I don't know. No pun intended. And then here's your piece of paper.
Yep.
And now it's split-second decisions. What do you want? Like, oh, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
is there samples? Like, what do I have? And it's
Yeah.
like,
How big's my deer? What's my loss going to be?
yep,
Rough idea here.
no clue. No
Yep.
clue. Completely blind. I only knew a little bit because I've been there before, so I have some expectation of what to get.
Absolutely.
So it was jalapeno cheddar sticks, jalapeno cheddar summer sausage, and then brats, and then
Can't
get
go wrong
whatever you can do with the rest.
Yep.
Steaks, roast, and then ground it up, right?
Yep.
But no, I have no idea. They tally it up. This is going to cost this much. Okay, the numbers are actually really reasonable.
So let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
A tallied up, you're blessed to have that. Because a lot of times we've gone to processors and it's like, either you have a deposit or you have no deposit.
Yep.
And it just, here's your paper, we'll call you in a couple days. And
Yep.
you're like, well, what's this going to cost me? No idea at all.
Sure.
So with the app now, we will have pricing built in for, what you're getting processed.
So you
right?
have some calculators in the back end that
Yeah.
are going to be able to
So-
spit out some sort of algorithmic.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be able to estimate deer size, estimate waste on the animal based on shot placement and things like that.
Okay.
And then from there, you'll be able to go through this entire ordering process and kind of get an idea of, okay, this is going to cost me this. To give the quick synopsis of how this works, you've now shot a deer, and instead of waiting in line, you've decided to open up your app. You've picked a processor
Sure.
because they've got some real good hot Italians.
Which,
that
for the
you like.
record, you have to open up your phone in most cases anyways
Yeah.
to register your deer.
Absolutely.
Right?
So you're already there. And now you get to go through and you're going to pick a processor that's, convenient for you
Mhm.
or just something that has what you want. There's going to be reviews right on there. So instead of essentially wasting a year of like, okay, I tried this place, not what I was looking for.
We did one place and they had, now this happened to my dad's deer, but not mine. So my experience was really positive.
Sure.
His was terrible. They over salted the meat.
Oh,
And it was bad. I was like, no, it can't be that bad. Dad. Like, mine turned out fine. No,
Right.
He's like, no, try it. And I was like, oh God, it was bad.
yeah.
It was real bad.
See, and a lot of these places
You keep going.
have zero online presence. So there's no way to really figure out what they have in the first place.
Right.
So this is now going to give you an opportunity to look at it, read some reviews, take it for what you will, figure out what they have that you want, go through, and you're going to be able to, again, size the animal, rough sizing, large doe, large bucks,
Sure.
small,
And
such
you'll
like
kind of
that.
know. Yep. And you can analyze that data as you get more and more and more of it too.
Yeah,
Right. Like,
absolutely.
what does a large doe mean versus a small doe, and how
Absolutely.
people?
So we'll kind of be able to fine tune all that. Then you go right into ordering process. You're going to go through, and it's basically going to be a slider bar, right? So you've got a
Okay.
0% utilization on your animal, and on our website we've got pictures of all this as well. So you'll kind of be able to see some.
Maybe I
pretty
should go there. Here, let's real quick. So we do have some sort of audience that are going to listen to this only, but
Sure,
we have
of course.
others that can actually watch along here. So I don't know. Are you able to navigate
Yeah,
me
as we
there?
scroll down here,
Okay.
and you can continue to scroll a little bit more. So right here, this is what
Got
we're
it.
looking
Okay.
at. So step 1, we found a processor. I don't know if you can just click through
I
these.
think maybe no.
No.
That's okay.
So this is like searching based on some of the things that you want, right? I want
Okay.
good jerky. I want good sausage.
Yeah, I want
whatever
brats.
that
I
may
want
be.
snack sticks. Like,
Yep.
you guys. Well, you got bacon check, so you did something right there. But
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'll be able to really finitely filter these searches.
okay.
So then also on each processor's page, we're going to have, maybe like a hot item, something that's just had really good reviews, is done really well for them, or
You
is
need to try this.
yeah, absolutely.
Or
There's
they're
signature
really well
things
known
like,
for
this is out of this world.
Sure.
It's very different. No one else
Yep.
offers this. You
Yep.
should give this a shot. So
So
that's
like
something we're
our
gonna
style of sticks are different than
offer. Yeah,
right. You've seen
absolutely.
that. Interesting.
So
Like I had venison hot dogs my buddy Joel brought to deer
Really?
camp. Oh my God. We just ate them like, look, folks, we raw dogged it. You know, it was just that we didn't use ketchup, like no buns, nothing. It was just a hot dog, and that was it. And it was like I could do
Really?
that all day long. It was so good. And so my wife is funny about venison, and she's had those same hot dogs, and she's
Sure.
like, "Oh my God, these are amazing."
That's fantastic.
So like, he got them in Green Bay. He drives to Green Bay for just that
No,
because they're that good. So he'll make
see,
a 2-hour
now we'll
trek,
be able to do a
right?
search and be
Yep.
like, hey, who else has some hot
Venison
dogs
hot
around
dogs.
here? So
So-
yeah, that's great. That's
So that's a good feature.
yeah, absolutely.
And maybe you want to drive to drop off some, if you're passing through a certain time, you're like, let me grab some of my meat and I'll drop it off on the way, right? Maybe it's, summer and you have some in the freezer. You're like, let's do something with this meat that's just going to hang out otherwise.
Yeah, we have a family friend lives in Illinois, hunts in Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and always picks the processor on the way down because he comes up for second weekend. Usually, if you shoot something first weekend, you usually pick it up at the end of
Sure.
second weekend. So a
Interesting.
lot of guys doing that traveling for hunting, obviously.
All right. So
Part of the process.
what's our next step here? Create an account.
Create an
Okay,
account,
pretend
yeah.
we did that.
Payment
Payment method. So you guys have that in there. Makes it nice and easy.
Yep. So type of game. This is a big thing. So obviously, right now we are in the heart of the whitetail season, and
Yep.
it's on all of our minds. But there's other game that's killed out there. We're not just we're a Wisconsin-based company, but we've done a nationwide launch. So, like wild pigs, an option on there.
Mhm.
Not a whole lot of that going on here, but
We have feral pigs here, but I've yet to see one. So
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. I think they're in the western part of the state, but like right down south, people shoot hogs. Like
yeah, absolutely.
it's going out of style. They love shooting hogs.
So, same concept with that. Obviously elk, things like that. They're going to be on here. You're packing those out. You're not dropping those off.
Right.
But yeah, so there's different.
But you
options
might
with
have
it.
elk meat that you want to do something with.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Mm-hmm.
you've now quartered it out in the field, and you're like, okay, I could either eat steaks and roasts and just do that over and over again. Or if you don't want to put in the time to make all your own ground and sausage and everything like that, you're already going to a processor.
Yep.
Now you can find one nearby, and especially if you're traveling too, you can already have this order placed. Let's say you're hunting elk, but you live in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
You can pre-make your order, so by the time your flight's landed and everything like that, you can just hit them on the way home from the airport, drop it off like it's part of your trip already.
That's great.
And it's
I almost wonder, and forgive me because this is what happens. I get really creative and I start going crazy. But early season is an interesting time for whitetails
yeah.
if it's hot.
So
if
we're
I
gonna
get
have
that deer
on
and they're
here-
closed, do they have a drop off or
yeah.
something like that?
So
right?
cold
Like,
storage, that's going to be
Yes,
listed on here.
okay.
And unfortunately, the industry is changing due to CWD. So we're going to have some parts of the country that are requiring that your deer be quartered already,
Mhm.
all that sort of stuff. We're going to have all that listed on here. What they require. Do they require CWD testing? Do they not?
Okay.
So as these legislative things kind of come through that we're seeing
Yeah.
with this disease, unfortunately, we're going to go right along with that. We're going to have test sites that are listed on here.
Mm-hmm.
Deer donation. Sometimes guys want to go hunt. They don't like venison, but they want donations. So we're going to have lists of donation centers. I mean,
Yep.
really just trying to, anything you can do with your deer post-kill, we want to be a part of. So
That's beautiful. So we got whitetail, cow, pig, lamb, goat, moose, buffalo,
Yep.
etc. And now we're getting to this is what you were talking about.
yeah, so this is where name your deer. It's not trying to be cute, but if you have multiple deer, right? So
Sure.
you and
Maybe
your
you have a
family's
hunting
job.
party, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So time of harvest, gender, whether you want to keep the hide, the antlers, the
This is
cape.
going to get silly on you.
Yes,
It's gonna
absolutely
get
it
silly.
is.
And you
I
can have some
expect
fun
to see
with
some
this later
very
on.
dumb names in there.
Yeah,
but
the Sasquatch buck or whatever. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Wait, did that buck mate with a Sasquatch? No, he's just huge.
Well, I think we're all kind of guilty of that. You get some trail cam pictures, and all of a sudden it's like, that's such and such deer.
Yeah,
it
you-
makes sense to
yeah.
nobody else but you and your
Yeah.
buddies, but it's part of it all, right?
His name's Carl.
Yeah,
He had a great life.
exactly.
What's my buddy Joel tells a joke. So he got a deer this year, and if I showed you a picture of it, let's just see. I can find it. 2 seconds, people. Hang in there with me. So this, oh, where'd it go? Well, I thought I had a picture of it. Ah, darn it. Well, the joke is, how old is that deer, right?
Sure.
And so everyone gives a very serious answer. He's like, oh, it's a year and a half. He goes, old as he's going to get.
That's
Every
great.
time people get it. They fall for it every time.
That's fantastic.
So I was going to try to do it on you, but I couldn't find a
Oh
picture
no,
fast
definitely.
enough. So, okay. So you're going to name your deer. Okay. I'm seeing this was happening. I'm getting ahead of myself because I feel like this could be good information even to pass on for like the CWD stuff too.
Yep.
Maybe, maybe
Absolutely.
there's some connections there, but
Whether it's been tested or not, are you in a CWD positive area?
Okay.
And we'll be able to collect data based on, location of deers being shot, and if they're, what's the CWD prevalence they like and stuff like that. So
Okay.
more for our end, but it's going to be neat to definitely look at all that. And then obviously damaged areas is something big.
Where'd you shoot it?
Right.
Good to
So,
know. Where am I going to find
unfortunately,
bullets?
It looks like this guy was having a heck of a time. So he got
Gut shot.
stomach and shoulder and the head to wrap it all up, I guess. But
In the face.
so yeah, that's going to affect obviously what your cuts look like. You shoot out one of your back straps, and that meat is going to drop down a little bit.
Sorry, I'm just jumping around here.
No, you're all good.
There we go. So we got technical issues, but I think we've navigated it. So there's a bit of a lag with the viewership of that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So yeah, he had a rough day, this deer.
Yeah, very much so.
That's good for the butcher, no, because they don't have that information now.
Well, right, they don't, and this is going to calculate estimated loss, right? So if you need that rough idea of a rough number of poundage of deer, now if you shot out one of your back straps, you shot it in the ass, you're going to lose some weight there.
Sure.
This is important to know, and it's going to be great going into it for the processors right away as well.
Okay.
And I think the next one here is.
So make sure we're all set here.
Yep, no problem.
Cool. So the next one is.
So your preferred cuts, right?
Here we go. This is the good stuff, folks.
Yeah. So what part of that animal do you want to keep right away? And that's obviously going to get pulled off your overall weight.
Okay.
So I want to keep my straps, keep my roast, give me my tenderloins. After that, I don't care.
Figure it out.
That's good to know right away. And we're all kind of doing that as we order our deer anyways. But again, it's this fast process on a piece of paper with a long line behind you, and you're just trying to rush through it. This will give you the time that, pour a glass of scotch, kick back at the cabin.
Yeah,
and
let's figure this out. What am I really in the mood for here? Let
Yeah.
me think through this a little bit.
I know.
Maybe get creative this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's my mother-in-law will tell my father-in-law, like, hey, I really would like some of this, some of that. Can't necessarily do that in line, but now you can just be sitting there texting back and forth and just going through it at your own pace. So, yeah, it's going to be, it's going to make it much easier and just kind of take.
Or like for me, I'd call my wife and be like, look, go to this website. I got a large buck.
Yep.
Hopefully that's what I got.
Yeah.
Can you just go through this and you pick what you want?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, so she could do it for me.
Yep.
Right. And then I get there now. She's happy because she had to say in it and got to pick what.
And
she
you'll
needed.
have that email with the QR code that the processor is going to scan, and it's going to know your order right away.
Wow.
So we'll kind of get to that as we progress.
Yeah,
through
that's really something. I had a thought here, but it passed, so it'll probably come and hit me. And the worst time, it'll interrupt you. But
so you added your first deer, estimated total weight. Obviously, we're not going to ask.
There's some assumptions here to get to that one number, right?
Yep. And there's going to be some stuff that's a little more regional. There's larger deer in this area of the state than there is in that, or in this area of the country than there is that. So that's stuff that we're going to kind of have to work on. And again, as we see more deer going through this process, more game, let's say, we'll be able to get more in depth and fine tune on what those weights are.
Okay. You can add another deer if you want to go through that again with different cuts. Okay. Cool.
So now we're kind of getting into the juice of it with the ordering process. So this will be an individualized menu for each processor. This isn't just a general menu, but what their actual menu is.
Okay.
So again, those preferred or most popular things are right up top right away.
What they're known for.
Yep. Kind of go through, okay, I want my sausages, want all that stuff, and just any of the actual process game. We'll even list like what their cut is, right? Are they using beef or pork? For any
do you want some of that mixed in? Right?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So a lot of times if you're getting a sausage, it's definitely not just a ground up deer. They're usually putting some pork fat in or something like that. So you'll kind of be able to see what they use, and if you've got a preference, you'll know that right away. One
of the thoughts I had, now you might not have the answer to this, but there seems to be a lot of concern with folks with butchers, which is why I think a number of people that I know will butcher their own deer.
Yep.
And they'll tell me this is why I butcher my own deer, because they have I wouldn't say it's a fear, but like a concern that they're going to get back parts of other people's deer.
Right.
And so out of all the processors that you've kind of taken inventory of, are there any badges or stamps that you put on their profiles that say guaranteed your deer, something to that effect, where
I can't say that we necessarily have,
because maybe you could search via that as a filter criteria.
I know there's some processors that preach get your own deer, and then there's other ones that are just like, no, we make
we don't have
thousands
time
of
to do
pounds
that,
of
right?
this
What do you
at
want
a
me to
time,
do? Yeah,
and it's just going to be a blend.
Deer's a deer's a deer. CWD,
Right.
blah blah blah, don't matter.
Well,
right,
so I've seen some that I was actually where I went yesterday. I'm not going to name names here, but they asked location of the kill, whether or not it's been CWD tested, and for what I can assume, it would be that they're not going to mix non-tested with tested and stuff like that for the meat afterwards.
And some butchers do the testing there.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
They'll set up a station there.
So if that's something that's important to you, but that's going to be an option you can have, so you're not making those two stops. Like, well, here's a processor that just does it.
Yep.
And you'll be able to utilize
one-stop
the app to tell you
shop.
that information. Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is a big deal. especially when you're trying to get home to your kids and wife and dog and cats.
Yeah, just trying to
after a long
streamline the
weekend away.
process, you know, for
Yep.
the end consumer, because sometimes that Sunday or Monday drive home after deer camp can be a little hectic if you got a bunch of stuff you got to drop off. And
Yeah, and you don't know where you're going to, and you're trying to do this on your phone, and
Yeah.
you don't have reception where you're at, so then you get in the area and you're like, fuck it. You
Yep,
know, like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you race through something and you're like, yeah, give me 80 pounds of bologna for no reason. And
Right.
it just seems, you know, kind of flying by the seat of your pants.
So, okay, so, and these are good choices. Is this real data that I'm looking at, or were these assumptions that
I
were
think
kind
this
of
is
made?
kind of an assumed.
Because you guys have some good, like, smoked honey jerky, pepper jack sticks. That sounds great, too.
Yeah, that all sounds very good.
God dang. See, this happens. I can't have frozen pizza
So-
for dinner.
As you no kidding. As you can see in the top right corner here, we've got this kind of utilization bar that's going.
Okay.
So it's letting you know where you're at too, because you're going to be using the slider bar to the configurator to make all your choices on everything.
So, yeah, if you get, like, 100 pounds of smoked honey jerky,
Yep.
you know, suddenly you're utilizing all your deer, and you're like, well, I want this and that, too. Well,
Yep,
you have to
absolutely.
balance this out, right? You can't, there's only so much meat on the animal.
Right. And that's the benefit of the estimated weight, because you don't get that now. Typically, you're, you know, maybe you can ask them, they'll like,
You get the box of dinner and go, oh, this is it, two packs of sticks.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I should have started with that because I wanted 5.
Right. Making my order yesterday, it was kind of like, give me a third of this, a third of that, and a third of that. And that should work, right, for
Yep.
your process
Yep.
stuff. So now you'll be able to kind of get a better idea. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect. Every animal's different, obviously. But it's going to get you a ballpark idea of what's actually going on. And then we've also got an order estimate going on the side. So you're going to get some real-time pricing versus
Just
just...
spitting it out like as we're going. It's I'm sliding the slider, and it's going to recalculate and reconfigure the total estimated price here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
So
like, well, okay, maybe you know what? I don't want that much honey jerky. Like,
exactly.
maybe I don't want that. But like some butchers have minimums too. Like, no, if you're going to
Yes.
get this, you have to get at least this many pounds of it. It's kind
Right.
of like, no, if you're at the convenience gas station, you need to go buy something else because we're not going to pay that processing fee for
Right,
your
exactly.
stick of gum.
So we'll have all that listed, you know, minimum orders. All that information will be there as if you were standing in front of the butcher. Just
Sure.
none of the stress of...
A lot of horsepower on the back end of this thing.
Yes, very much so.
I mean, seriously, there's a lot going on here.
yeah, it's
If nothing else, this is just really convenient, you know?
that's the big thing. And we want to build convenience both ways. Obviously, we want it to be convenient for the consumer, but we need processors to work with us. So we don't want to make it not convenient for them. We're really trying to streamline the business end of it as well for them, whether that be generating more business or just kind of building some
Optimizing
efficiencies.
that back office so then
Exactly.
they can do more, which would generate more, right? It frees up more space
Yeah.
for them.
I've never filled out a piece of technical information to order a deer ever in my life. It's always some piece of paper that's probably carbon copied.
Oh, and by the way, like, don't lose the paper
yes, 100%.
because holy shit, if you lose the paper,
You're in a bad
And
spot.
they even tell you, like, do not lose it. So, like, mine's in my center console of my truck, and, like,
Yeah, mine tends to live
someone
there too.
robs me in my truck right now. I'm going to be more pissed about the fact that I'm not getting my venison right now
Right.
than the fact that my truck's gone.
So yeah, once your order's wrapped up, you'll get an email, and it's going to have all your information there. That email is going to have a QR code, and again, as we progress here, but
And they're going to have the tools that they need to deal with that QR code.
as your order is generated, a label is being printed out on their end. So you get there, they scan the QR code, pull your label, stick it on your deer, and it's off.
Wow.
It's no
So
more.
better tracking than
Yeah,
whatever piece
absolutely.
of paper they're using.
Yeah, and they won't be.
Which is just like a deer number they put on the ear or something. Or
Yeah,
whatever they do.
exactly. So those tags are already going there anyway, so
Mhm.
they know whose is whose. So why not have it be this, where you can actually, and it can all be automated.
Yep.
A simple scan at the end of it can send that email and do everything like that. So
Okay.
you don't have somebody manning phones for
Hmm.
2 weeks after.
You know what is happening. Today's my first day back at work.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, so
Long day.
we're in similar boats
Yeah,
here.
very much so.
Oh, that's weird. So Facebook says we're not live.
Really?
That's confusing. It seems like it's working. That's interesting. Let me just switch gears here for 2 seconds.
Let me. I can check on mine as well.
Seems like it's live. Yeah, Dad, that's a good point. Take a picture of the order. I should have done that. I think I actually intend on it, but I didn't. So we got a couple comments coming in here too. Yeah, so it's my co-host Greg who's telling us that we're having technical problems. But
Yeah, it's showing up live at least. on the
yeah,
mobile
Greg,
version.
maybe it's your Facebook. I think it's looking okay on this end here. So although I wouldn't be surprised because, I jokingly always state that it's not a podcast unless you have a technical issue.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's just how it goes, especially when you're podcasting with me. Okay, we'll go back to the browser view and let's go back here. So,
Yeah.
For those that are listening in, we're talking about this meat utilization kind of gauge. It tells you how much of your meat is being consumed by your order based on the types of cuts that you want, whether that's ground, steak, specialty meats, etc.
So you're going to do cuts and then specialties first.
Okay.
And then whatever's left over, you can just be like, turn it into ground. And that's this last page here, obviously.
Okay.
So you just do general
And
ground.
then this is what they ask you anyways, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you want it mixed with pork? Do you want it mixed with some beef? Like, what do you want it mixed with
Yep.
anything? Right.
Absolutely. So it just kind of wraps up the rest of it, and it helps too because you don't always know like how much ground do I actually want? What am I going to use this for? It'd be nice to just be like, well, whatever's left over after I get what
Yes.
the prime stuff that you're looking for.
Yep.
So it just kind of rolls it all together. You get a total again there, and then you're at 100% utilization. So
Cool.
your first year is done.
That's not that complicated.
It's really not. So it's going to be very
And
user
some of
friendly.
those steps have to be there. And I'm sure there'll be iterations on this
Yeah,
once you
of
get some
course.
real data pouring in and some users commenting on things.
Yep.
But, I mean, it seems like you guys have really done a good job of thinking through everything.
Yeah.
What was that process like to think through this stuff? You just,
A lot
you
of
really just
conversations,
ideate
just
on
sitting
every-
around talking about it,
Yep.
Comparing it to other things, like how does this work, how does that work, Aesthetically pleasing was a big thing. You don't want something that looks like total crap as you're trying to go through it because
Sure.
you want to build some confidence in it right
there's
away.
a lot of
looking at it.
credibility in that.
And then just super user friendly. You don't want something that's going to be difficult. I mean, just kind of pan through it and all with the swipe of a thumb, you're
Take
ordering.
the friction out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it just a lot of conversations, a lot of back and forth, bouncing ideas, and a lot of late nights with a glass of whiskey in one hand and a pad of paper in the other, basically.
Hey, man, I mean, like, you guys did a good job if that's how you're doing it. Okay, so then next, what do we got here? Order review,
Yep,
right?
just general review of the order, what you all got, make sure you give it the final okay, kind of that final total. Again, obviously some estimates there as weight fluctuates, and that's all going to be worded properly in there.
Okay.
So you understand that you're not just like, well, I ordered 60 pounds of this, and then it turns into some issue. So
Do you have, it looks like we do, so I was going to ask a preemptive question, but, so then here's your QR code that we talked about.
Yep, so we're all done. You get this right on the app. You get an email of it, and you'll also get a text confirming the order.
Okay, very cool.
And then as this is all wrapped up and you've completed ordering, or the processing is completed, you'll get an email and a text right away saying, hey, your deer's done. I know in years past we've had, this thing will be done on Tuesday. And then all of a sudden it's Friday and you're still calling and they're like, oh yeah, we haven't got to it yet. Or, this kind of just takes the guesswork out of it. And then we're back to page 1 here. So we've done a processor search.
The fascinating thing about where I was going to go with this is I thought page 1 was actually the last page, which would be, can we just click directions to and open up my...
You can do that right now.
Right. Okay.
If you
I want
this will
directions
give
to
you
this
directions.
processor then, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm coming from the woods to this processor, it'd be great if it just popped up my mapping
right
application.
down there at the bottom, as a
So
matter
let's
of
take
fact.
a look. Here we go.
So just direction, I believe it's
View
the
and
left.
menu.
Right in here.
There it is. Directions. Look at that.
So
See, this is what I mean. You guys have thought of so many good things already.
yeah,
What am I doing here?
we really want to take we really want to take the just any guesswork out of it, right? So you just open your app and all you need to do is drive there and drop this thing off.
That's freaking great. And then you get more time to look at all the other deer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have those fun conversations and all that,
That's cool.
You can look at all the guys standing in line, like, what the hell are you doing over there?
Yeah,
Get
we're
on
done.
board already.
It's like you go to Panera, like, I've already ordered my food. It's already done.
Yep,
I
exactly.
did it on my app before I even got here, and it's all set.
Exactly.
I mean,
So that is coming. We're looking at fall 2020, early fall 2020.
yeah, we have your timeline here serendipitously. So, like, right now we have winter 2019. We're kind of encroaching on that now.
Yep.
Right. So it says on the site, we offer landing pages, website development, and marketing assistance for meat processors, initial app development in progress with tweaks based on customer feedback. So, look, if you're on this site and you're someone that's a hunter that's using this, is there a good way for people to submit their feedback currently?
Yeah, absolutely. So top right corner, we've got our email posted right there.
Okay. So inquire@fieldofreezer.com.
Yeah. So if you've searched through and you see a processor that's not on there, or you are a processor that's not on our database, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to enter that information in, or reach out to that processor and get all their information on there.
Have you had any that you've listed that may have been looking like meat processors, but maybe don't do deer or things like that?
There were some. Yep. So our initial database, I want to say, was like 2,800 processors.
Okay.
And then we've kind of gone through, and there's a couple doubles in there, and some guys that are just general like butcher shops but don't do deer. So we've gone through and we've cleaned all that up. That was quite a process.
A lot of that cleansing of the data.
Yeah, that was a lot of late nights for Matt. That's for sure.
I don't resent that at all.
No. So all cleaned up, and everything that you see in our current database, they do deer processing.
Okay.
So I think right now we're at 1,531 processors nationwide.
How many of that's got a footprint here in Wisconsin, percentage-wise?
Ooh, that's a question.
See, that's the good questions. Here we go. Now I got you.
Tell you what, I bet you if you go to our website right now and do a search for Wisconsin deer processors, you can see that laundry list.
There we go. Let's take a look. We'll go to the browser here so people can see.
So let's go up to the top, right? Scroll down just a little bit. You're right in here. So just type in Wisconsin.
All right. So if you're listening, what I'm doing right now, I'm at fieldofreezer.com, and right on their homepage, I can type in, searching for a processor. Type in Wisconsin. We're looking for white-tailed deer. Sure.
Yep.
I don't know their name, so I'm not going to put that in there.
Right.
And then I'm just going to click search. Right.
Yep.
So I do that, and now I get a whole crap ton.
Yep.
In Wisconsin. So if I go back and I don't enter in a criteria, and I just do an open search,
you'll get nationwide.
Let's see what that looks like. Well, I guess that would have been a way to do it anyways, because now I can kind of get a sense for. My guess is you guys have more in Wisconsin than elsewhere, or maybe that's just how the world works.
So I think Texas is probably in the lead right now, and
well, I guess
unfortunately there's an East Coast state that I can't remember which exactly it is that has.
Is it Connecticut?
It might be actually.
Because we know some boys over there. Oh yeah, wow, you guys have been busy.
Yes, a lot of information here.
Holy shit. Control zoom. Here we go. My gosh.
Yeah.
Someone entered all these in. Someone's people.
Yes, a lot of data entry. It's significant amount of information, but.
So we have a bunch of friends. The East Coast Boning Podcast fellas are in Connecticut here.
Sure. So
if they get a whiff of this, they're gonna have fun with you guys.
Excellent.
And it's Coventry, Connecticut. I always thought they were saying Coventry.
Oh, sure.
It's Coventry, as the old folks say it, I
Okay.
guess. My mind's come back to me. Look at this, guys. This is insane.
Yeah. Don't forget Alaska. We got some up there too.
Oh my gosh, sure. I haven't zoomed out that far yet. So if you're moose hunting up in Alaska, look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And so that's just basically the U.S.
Yes. So just the U.S. right now. I think we've had some interest from some Canadian companies.
I have a lot of users for the app, the Where to Hunt app in Canada and Australia.
Really?
Right.
That's good to know.
I was like, wow. So it's literally U.S., then Canada, then Australia.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So as far as like countries are concerned.
Yeah, baby steps right now. I mean.
Yeah, this is incredible.
One
guys.
country at a time. Okay. So
nice.
No, but yeah, a lot of data there, and then obviously this is just the search tool. So this is what you can utilize right now from your phone, from your mobile app.
Got it.
So let's do a more refined search here. Let's look for something in the Waukesha area.
All right, let's do that. So we'll do Waukesha.
Yep.
And then do I have to put in Wisconsin too? Then?
It helps because there is it.
Do I have to do it with the comma?
Oh no, just WI would have been fine.
All right.
It typically finds what's closest and what makes the most sense, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our range on this is right around 100 miles, 85 miles, something like that.
Sure.
Because obviously we do some traveling when we hunt, so you like to know what's where.
What else is around? Because it might be en route or something.
Yeah. So you can just pick any generic one of these on the left here.
I have a feeling I know who this is going to be.
It's just
Roberts. So I used to take my deer to Roberts.
Perfect.
This is where this question came from because they stopped doing deer processing at one point.
Really?
But before they were one of my favorite processors. Their stuff was so good. And then somewhere in there they stopped doing it, and then I never revisited to see if they ever picked it back up it'll
Yeah, so right now if you click on their name, you'll get a map, contact information, their address, which is nice, but you shouldn't need it because if you just click that get directions right there,
it'll take me to a map.
It'll open this up. And then if you're on the mobile version, it will automatically open your Maps app, and you'll just get that direction.
And so right now it wants to just take me to their website, but at some point it sounds like there's going to be more information baked into their profile within your
100%.
site.
Yep.
Okay.
So once this all kind of gets up and running the way we want it to, you will be able to fully order from their page right here. They'll have an individual landing page in theory, which they already do.
Yes.
But just a bunch more information.
Generic right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fascinating. I'm just going to visit the comment section here and see if we got any questions coming in. I don't see any.
Definitely.
Maybe there's one here. So cool deal, Michael. And then Steve. Geez, I joined late. No, not a joint venture. Just, we're close in proximity geographically, so it made a lot of sense for us to jump on and chat about it. And it's something that I think I can get on board with for sure. As far as just a user, I would love to use this, right? And I don't know. It's an exciting idea. You guys are in a great spot right now.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to just be a part of the conversation early on because in my mind, I see 5, 10, 15 years from now, you guys are like it, right?
we hope
And
to
I'll
be.
be like, you guys are like, well, yeah, Where to Hunt was our first podcast we ever did.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny you say that. So due to the size of this website and all the information on it, a lot of times now we're seeing that if you're doing generic Google searches of like game processors near me,
Yep.
we're popping up as one of those potential
You've
searches
already
right
kind
away.
of
Yeah.
started to.
So that's
capitalize
going to
it.
increase more as more and more information gets loaded into Google. Again, we're like 5 days old as a website.
Yeah.
So really trying, there's a ton of information there.
That's funny.
But yeah.
5 days young.
Yeah, exactly.
And the season's just getting started. So at some point, you're going to have to catalog like which state has what in season when are their
Yep.
kickoffs, when is their boat, when
Absolutely.
is their gun, and start to catalog all of that stuff
Yep.
so you know when. Yeah.
Whole lot more data to still be gathered on this one.
Oh,
and then
that's a
obviously, we got to talk to
data-driven world.
processors. We got to
Yep.
get, because while we have this database of 1,500 processors, we got to get them on board with this stuff. And,
Yeah.
we've had some really good feedback from quite a few people.
What about not that I want to air everything out here in live format, but like so my friend Joel, the one I talked about, he used I would maybe call him a freelance butcher, right? So like $50, he's like, dude, I'll have it done and I'll have it to you tomorrow.
Sure.
I was like, holy shit, what?
That's great.
$50 cash, you have it done tomorrow? And
Yeah.
it was like, no, I actually got it done tonight. So here you go. I was like, who is this guy?
Wow, that's incredible.
Right? And so like if there's a network for guys that maybe want to earn a little bit of side income if they're into doing that or
Yeah.
something, but maybe there's some, I don't know what type of food laws exist for processors
Right.
with that, but it's kind of the Wild West a little bit with your processing.
It definitely is. I mean, there's definitely some regulation behind it all. But that's not an avenue that we've explored at all yet.
Yep. I don't even know if that's a thing or not, but I
Yeah.
just know I've heard of like that one instance.
Right. No, we probably have to check the legality on a couple things there. But I mean, I think we're open to all avenues.
Yep.
So we'd be willing to have those conversations. If
There's a lot of guys like that with taxidermy, right? Like
Yes.
they'll be subcontracted to do a deer.
Very much so.
But there are some laws in there too. You can't go directly to those subcontracted guys
I
sometimes.
think I did a Google search for taxidermists last year, and I got everyone from like a picture of a guy's garage to like some giant like we only do
Place.
taxidermy.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little all over the board there.
Yeah, interesting. Something to be mindful of, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And we find that a lot of these game processors, even as these whole legitimate companies, their online presence is nothing.
Yeah, it's not.
So-
And some of them would argue they don't need it, just because
Absolutely. I
they'll
understand.
take what they can get and they're good to go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for a lot
It's
of them,
supplementary income.
this is like the busiest 9 days of the year right now.
Yep.
And it seems like it could bring on more. But as much as we would love to say that we're going to be able to develop new business, if that's something that you want to do, and we absolutely will be able to do that. The other thing is just cleaning the whole thing up. Having some data on who your previous customers are.
I mean, look at Uber. They didn't bring more business to cabs. They just made a better customer experience.
Absolutely.
And look what that did.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. So people who haven't used you before might bring you that deer because of our app, and then use you for their other butchering needs, or if they just want to.
Yeah, because you might gain a customer for life, right? Like we talked about this before, is bringing in the other cuts later on in the year.
Yeah.
Well after the fact, so you could do some more interesting, fun things with your meat.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I have an app that I know I can go to kind of spark some ideas, and there's recipes and
Yeah.
things like that maybe you guys are toting, like, hey, if you haven't tried bacon wrapped jalapeno whatever with venison bacon, like here's some processors that make really good venison bacon.
Well, and if a processor changes the way that they're going to do drop-offs, or maybe their operating hours, or they put in that cold storage or something like that for the bow hunters, they're going to have this database of former users that they're not going to be able to maybe send a mailing list out to, or an email, or just update them in some way versus a sign on the front
Hey,
door.
it's been 6 months since you processed your deer. You got any meat left? Maybe you want to come get it. Da whatever. So
yeah, absolutely.
who do we got here? March 19th. So this is someone we know. Jack Daniels, Water Turkey, Wisconsin. All right. Hey, you're live on the Word Hunt podcast. Who do we got?
You're live on the Word Hunt podcast.
Yeah, I thought that was you because it says Greg. This is Greg Tubbs, our co-host.
How's it going,
You're
Greg?
sitting in his seat today. What's up,
Good,
buddy?
man. How are you?
Did we
Good.
fix our technical issues or
Nothing.
what?
I just thought of a question.
All right.
You're putting out all sorts of cool information about where to find a guy to butcher the deer.
Yep.
What about taxidermy? Have you thought about that?
It has
You
been.
thought about maybe? Have you?
Yes, without saying anything too hard right now. We don't want
Right.
to put ourselves in a corner. It has definitely
Sure.
been talked about, and is something that is being looked at much more seriously. So
Cool.
if all goes well, that's definitely an avenue we would like to explore in the future.
Perfect.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about your one-stop shop, right?
Right. That's the hope, right?
And even if it's a one-stop shop from your phone, as long as you can then plot out your course,
yeah,
it makes it a lot easier on the brain to like not have to think of the logistics of it.
absolutely.
Right.
And a lot of times, if we're at work, we miss the call from the processor. It's like,
I missed it today.
Right. So now you're gonna get that email. I'm like, hey, check that out. I got to go pick this thing up.
They didn't leave me a voicemail. At least I don't think they did. No, I'm checking. No voicemail. Yeah, I think I got a call from the processor already, but I tried to call back and their line was busy and busy and busy. I was like, wow, I've never even heard a freaking dial busy tone in the year of 2019 yet. So
I'll tell you what, I actually just got a text here. We are currently constructing that taxidermy database.
Well, you are.
So, yeah.
Is Matt watching in?
Matt is watching in.
Sweet.
So
What's up, Matt? We got to get you to call in too.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, that's excellent.
How are your chores coming along there, big boy?
Well, they're getting there.
Well, I didn't make dinner tonight because of you, so I didn't get to fucking eat.
What? Don't put that shit on me.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Man,
He's got to be great to see him.
Well, you're buddied up to your bottle of scotch there pretty nicely, though.
it's just the activity. I just got to have something to do, so I do little tiny pours.
Okay.
And now I cracked a beer because I don't want to keep going on the scotch.
That is definitely an important
I did get a new bottle because the other one, like, I think I'm gonna enjoy it still, but you had it with me. It was it's got a very distinct flavor.
It does, but it is damn good whiskey.
Yeah,
for sure.
It wasn't cheap, that's for sure. So it's good, but you got to like it. There's another scotch that's on the opposite spectrum of that smoky flavor. It's like a fruity flavor.
Sure. That's the funny part about whiskey, because I've had very expensive bottles. It's like, oh gosh, this is horrible, and then sometimes you stumble into like that $30 bottle. You're like, man, this is good.
This is drinkable. That's what is good about it.
Absolutely.
Some of the cheap stuff isn't all that bad.
No, like the Busch beer, huh?
There you go.
I learned that I actually think I do now like Busch Light better than Spotted Cow.
Really?
So we went to some little.
Spotted Cow's kind of filling.
It was too filling, and this stuff
filling.
goes down like
agree.
it's like water. It's so drinkable that I had the Spotted Cow. I was like, you know what? I can't even finish it. I just can't. There's no room. I was like, give me my Busch Light.
It's a flavorful but heavy beer, that's for sure.
Anyway, well, that was a good question, Greg. Thank you.
Well, anyway.
Thank you.
See, you're not even here. You're still doing your job.
There you go.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I did my job for the night. Because I say a lot on the show the way it is.
Hey, you say the best things. You only say what counts.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you be.
All right. We'll talk
Have
to
a
you
good
soon.
night, fellas.
Have a nice night.
All right, buddy.
We'll talk to you.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
So we do. Look at this. So we got the founder of Field of Freezer, Matt McCoy, on the line. What's up?
How's it going, man?
Hi guys, how's it going?
It's
Good.
good. We're just shooting the breeze over here, talking about your awesome product.
Oh, thank you. Well, you guys are doing a great job of it. So I just thought I'd call in and you were talking about scotch and things like that. So you inspired me to drink a little bourbon. Bourbon tonight. We'll do a little Bib and Tucker, I think. So my scotch lies a little bit low. So
Excellent. That's good stuff.
But
very good stuff.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate your time, and we love Where to Hunt, and we're so happy to be partnering with you on advertising and things, and we're a little bit slow on getting our ads up and things like that, but we're happy to feature you on our site and things, and we're just really excited by the momentum. And I missed the first part of the show. I had a meeting with somebody through G-Beta, the startup incubator that we got into. There were 50 companies that applied for it, and 5 wound up getting into it, and we were one of the 5. So we were, pretty proud of that. But there's been a lot of interest, and we've been in 3 newspaper articles, and then we're on Channel 6, Fox 6 Milwaukee on Saturday, and then Channel 4 WTMJ tonight at 10 o'clock. So definitely a lot of interest, but yeah, so we'll all be able to catch that one. So, but one of the things in respect to our database, what people see right now is a fairly limited set of features. As we work with more and more meat processors, we're going to be building out a lot of the metadata around each of the processors, and I think Devon touched on a bit of this, but chronic wasting disease is a big issue now, or at least the fact that there's legislation and regulations and things that are coming into play with it in different states, that's going to affect people's abilities to get meat processed. So kind of as we went through and looked at different processors, there's some processors that say, hey, I'm not going to do deer anymore at all. There's other ones that say, we'll do processing, but you've got to basically get your deer butchered first and bring your meat to us in Ziploc bags. And then, then there's other ones that say, we'll do your processing, but we want your animals quartered and things. So, there may be extensions to this where, we look at connecting people to butchers as well as meat processors if they're not doing, both aspects of things. And then CWD testing too, that's another challenge as well. So, potentially some avenues for that. So
that
I think it could
too. Like that's calling those things out too. Where can I dump this carcass and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Dump sites, test sites for your CWD, all that stuff. I mean,
yes,
it's
you guys definitely got your work cut out for you. There's no shortage of things that you can be doing, and it's understandable that you're not going to cover everything out of the gate. You got to really prioritize where to spend your time and focusing, which just seems like you've done a really good job of up to this point.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, things have come out of the woodwork since we launched and things, and, a lot of people have different ideas and different needs and things. So while we are focusing on deer hunting, we want to look toward boar and things down south. We've even got some sort of different types of suggestions as well as adding in companies that process fish and things, so some of this deep sea fishing and things where people, people go halibut fishing and they've got this giant.
Halibut are giant.
Yeah, so, people that do shipping, so what processors are out there that'll ship from one location to another and things. So, it's a lot more than just a Google search. So, dismissers might say, well, I can just Google something. Well, Google's a pretty generic search, and, and second of all, they don't have all of the content that we have, and they're not going to have all of the metadata in a way that hunters are looking for it and looking to find it. But most importantly, as we get meat processors on board and we start looking at adopting some of these ordering processes and configurators that help people get the most out of their animals when they're processed between the butchered products as well as the processed meats, that's where a lot of the power and efficiency is going to be as well. So, we feel that by having Field to Freezer launched now, it'll begin to provide a valuable resource for for hunters all around the country.
It's exciting. You must be jacked and tired at the same time.
I'm really tired.
Which is conflicting. Did you have any luck?
But I am
excited. Did you go outside over the weekend or what? Did you get 20 blaze on?
Yeah. I did actually. I got and shot a smallish sort of doe, but I was happy. We hunt near Wapaka and didn't really see as much as we usually do, but it's meat in the freezer, so to speak, and things. And it was a nice deer and a nice clean shot and everything. So I was real happy with that. But it's always a blessing to be able to harvest an animal, and we're thankful for what God provides for us and things. And and obviously the fellowship is an important thing too. So second weekend we generally go up to Vilas County, and the deer are pretty scarce up northern Wisconsin area and things. We that's a good excuse for some bourbon drinking and eating at some supper clubs and looking at the stars and smoking cigars after the hunt is over. So, we probably, while we generally go out 2 days for that, by the second day our blaze orange smells like cigars, so it probably isn't going to be real helpful.
I didn't see anything.
We're not helping our own cause, that's for sure.
Gun hunting is a very different flavor than like bow hunting. I think so. That's what it's to me. There's more than the hunt, but it's
traditions.
Yep.
That's the big one.
Yeah, I think that fellowship and kind of touching base with people that we might only get a chance as a group to talk in depth once a year and everything. I mean, you can't really trade that for anything, and just some fresh air other than a little cigar smoke here and there and stuff. It's it's a blessing to be out there. So so we're excited about second weekend, and we have a really great hunting group. My friend Mark Coles and his family have been gracious for many years, have allowed us to hunt kind of in on their family parcels and things, which is outside of Simcoe and up by Manawa and Wyawega and Wapaka, up in that area. And I didn't.
No kidding.
Yeah, exactly. And I had never harvested a deer before going up with them, and in northern Wisconsin and things. And so he invited us to his land, and I've been pretty successful there over the years and things. And it's kind of a credit to him, because had I never got the invitation to his land, I don't know that I ever would have started deer hunting. So it's nice to have friends and things like that, and they're just good people too. So first weekend we got some good fellowship there as well. So
it's fun.
Just a shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome. Well, good. Anything? So we'll wrap up here fairly soon. But are there any anything that we missed or didn't cover that we need to be sure to mention for the listeners as a last thought? I know we talked about the calendar of upcoming things that were, maybe to be expected.
The big thing is if you're a listener right now and you know of a processor and you can't find them on our database, or you are a processor and you're interested in reaching out, please feel free to do so. Absolutely reach out. We'd be happy to share information back and forth with you and kind of get into talks about where this can progress to from there.
Yeah, we're looking for some early adopters, and looking for ways to streamline processors' businesses and things, and very happy to help in any of those areas, whether it's simply getting an online presence set up to to processors that want to look at a full streamlined ordering process and things. The early adopters are going to get more input into some of the nuances of the application as we finish it up, and and we can be say very sharp pencil estimates on prices and things just to get people on board. So we're happy to have those conversations. We know everybody's very busy right now, so we'll be reaching out to a lot of processors mid-December-ish and into 2020 early in the year and things. But we'd love to talk with you as soon as you've got time to.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations, guys, on such a seemingly successful launch.
Thank you.
The awareness is hopefully getting out there to folks, and we hope that this show helps a little bit with that. It's no Fox Nicks or TMJ, but it's a fraction of the right audience for sure.
We deeply appreciate you having us on. It's been fun, and it's a great way to get feedback immediately from people. So it's been great.
Yeah, right. Greg had an idea out of the game.
Yeah, we're
excited.
Working on it. Yeah, excited for you as well, Eric. With the Where to Hunt app, and
thank you.
Looking forward to continuing our conversations and things too. So thanks a lot for your consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, I think there's no other calls in the queue or anything. So I'm going to end the live broadcast. And Matt, if you want to hang out for just a second, we can chat with you offline here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
All right. And Devon, thanks again so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great.
All right.